Please welcome Marcelo Costa with a case study transformation program best practice. Marcelo is the Director of Technical Operation Strategy and PMO in Stada Group in Germany. He is responsible for establishing a newly created strategy realization office, ensuring successful implementation of TechOps, transforming and performing strategy. Please, Marcelo, feel free to start.
Thank you, Peter, for introduction. Thank you for this opportunity. It's been amazing these 2 days, especially for me. I have been working in pharma since I was internship back in 1999. Always working for technical operations, so project management, engineering, industrial engineer, operation excellence, and look at happens on the other side of the wall with R&D, product development, how PMO, how project management happens there. For me, it's been amazing, so thank you for that. So we'll be talking today, sharing our experience, our practice, so hopefully this will add value for you too today. Basically, we'll be talking, I'll put you into the context, so why this transformation started at Stada, and a little bit about our journey, what PMO means for us in technical operations. Everything is new, so we are still in the way, a lot to do, a lot to improve. One slide about Stada for you who don't know. In the end of the day, this savings transformation is all about the bottom line results of the company. So that's why I brought here some numbers for you to have an idea. These numbers are from 2019. Now we are more than 12,000 people. We have acquired some new business last year. And everything started back in 2017. I was not part of the project of the program by that time. We have been taken over by Ben and Steven. And by that time, I can tell you, I started in Stada, by the way, in 2015. And I can tell you, we are a different company today, I can tell you. And it's all about this transformation. So in the end of the day, it's not only the savings transformation, but the change of the business. Of course, there is an impact on the bottom line. So everything started back in 17. And our target, the management, the senior management, senior leadership define a target that we should increase EBITDA by 150% until next year. And basically 1/3 should come from organic growth, 1/3 from inorganic, and 1/3 from savings. And here in Stada, I think it's an important concept. We are talking about P&L savings. It's not only about savings that we put on a PowerPoint. We really need to try as much as we can to measure this on the P&L of the company. So this is one important challenge for us. Put into context as well, as many people here are from R&D, from other business, technical, and even within technical operations, some companies, they have different setups. Technical operations for us in Stada is basically internal manufacturing and external supply organization. Procurement, indirect and direct. Despite indirect management sits in TechOps, we also cover all the business, so all of the functions, sales, marketing, whatever, supply chain management, and then quality. As support functions, we have operation excellence, MS&T, finance, HR, and you can see a little bit about our priorities. So as pharma business, of course, safety, quality, compliance is our key. However, we need to do everything at the best possible cost. Then our journey. So basically, this is how we see it, PMO in TechOps. TechOps, I'm direct responsible for the savings transformation program, but we manage all other stuff, all the transformations. We also support M&A integrations. So, but this is specifically for savings. We have this e-bike cargo model. Basically, have on the left hand the governance. So we try to establish some rules, norms. We are not so bureaucratic here, but we try to establish the way we should work as PMO across all functions. Business excellence, performance review. Our function is also responsible for the MBRs, for the monthly business review, so all about performance. And in this cargo, we need to put everything there, all the projects, all the programs that will lead us to deliver on the TechOps strategy. So the TechOps strategy is part of the Stada blueprint in order to achieve our mid- and long-term goals. And PMO I see here as the power assist. So we are pretty much putting more energy or more help or less energy when needed. So this is a little bit of our work, is to support the functions to deliver on the strategy, on the goals. Talk about the service transformation program itself. You see on the left, on the right-hand side, a little bit of complexity in terms of manufacturing plants, Stada affiliates, because despite, as I said, we are sitting TechOps. For example, indirect procurement, we have spent in other areas, also in affiliates. So it's predominantly affiliates are collaborating to the indirect pool. Global functions as well, global projects, things happening here near Frankfurt in Bad Wibel in Germany. This is our headquarters. On the left side, you can split in two pieces. One is a little bit of complexity, so for more than 400 initiatives. In direct procurement, so mainly finished product, API, excipients, packaging materials, they are not in our system, given the complexity. Here we are monitoring SKUs. So only last year, as part of the savings or cost ups and main cost ups coming from COVID, we had 12,000 materials. So we track this in a different way. And currently active users managing initiatives, we have more than 120. And the savings, our magnifying glass is looking at direct procurement spend, conversion costs, also material on sites, general administration, G&A, regulatory affairs, warehouse distribution, and write-offs as a function of quality and inventory. We didn't start like that. I think this is the current picture as I see. We have 4 pillars supporting this program. So basically governance and policy, everything we need to run the best way the business integration. I think this is super important. I think we have been able to improve a lot. So it's not only about the savings, it's about how we manage our daily tasks in order to deliver the savings. How this link is clear roles, responsibilities, structure, people capabilities, a lot of training and support. Tools and data analysis, we also improved a lot. And now we have a web-based system where everybody can manage their initiatives and we can see online results from everywhere. And in the end, we do all this to create value. So in the end, the value creation is everything we do, everything we are transforming in order to deliver the savings. Doesn't matter if you are doing a network optimization, or we are putting operational excellence programs, or make or buy analysis, inventory, sourcing. So everything that we do. So this leads to, if I would present, this would lead to a different set of programs and programs, right? And as foundation for us here, it's super clear, it's super focused on execution. Without execution, you can have the best plan in the world, but if you don't execute properly, it doesn't fly. So for us, it's super important that we focus on execution. This is our day-to-day focus. So now, just moving back, I'm going to give some examples from these 4 pillars for you to have an idea and share some experiences. The first one, example of governance and policy. So we have a clear governance where the savings update cycle happens, when all the discussions happens, the one-to-one with the PMO leads, where we see how is the pipeline of savings, project management, risks and opportunities. Then we consolidate this. In some areas, we need to wait for actors from finance. Usually it happens on the 2nd week of the month. Then we put together this, and this is discussed in our monthly business reviews with our TechOps head and the other VPs of quality, manufacturing, all the VPs within TechOps. And all this is put together to be discussed with our CEO what we call the Stada Executive Committee and our Management Committee. Management Committee is basically the executive senior leaders plus our sponsors. And if you think about a curriculum, this is what we expect here. I'm not going to read all the bullet points, but this is what we expect to grow and to live this in our daily. I think is super important that people understand, people facilitate, drive the culture, the right culture down to the organization. Just for you, as I said, we have people working with projects at sites, at affiliates, so it's important that we drive this down to the organization. Another example of governance is the roles, responsibilities, and the levels of maturity for our projects. Some areas, for example, now they have even drilled down into this table and create like a race matrix, responsibility, responsible, accountable, and so on and so forth. So now it must be clear to everybody their role, or when in which level of maturity the project or the initiative should be. Also, as you can see here on the right side, approval levels. We have some approval levels on the system, and this is now much better and clear who does what. I think this is super important when it comes to attrition, to the way we work. A lot has been said about ways or types of PMO. Here we don't have a clear PMO type, but it's a mix of a traditional hierarchical PMO and dynamic PMO. I think both of them have their pros and cons. So when you need the periodic reviews, top-down queries, standardization, knowledge sharing is super important to. In this, if you see this orange box, this is me, for example. No, this is me, and the brown ones are the functional leads. So sometimes you need to go through a hierarchy, a traditional way of work, but sometimes it's all about being faster or agile. So I'm reaching out to people far away because sometimes they have doubts how to access the system, how to use, how to report. And this is a type of PMO people like to be engaged with. People see that there are people, I think someone said in one presentation, thanks for the support from the headquarters, but that's something that we always strive to change this mindset, that we are here really to support. But of course, in the end of the day, we need the results. And this, of course, there is more room here for interaction, for me to learn what's going on, what's not going well. And then this is a valuable source of feedback. For example, we have done some improvements in our system based on the feedback of people. It's all about people and providing feedback. And in the contest, we try to make this and keep this as simple as possible. We don't try here to make standards templates. We try to be, again, super focused on what is really added value for people to deliver on their targets. Another example, like I said, now we have a combination of, I'm not going to read everything, but just for you to understand, now we have cases, for example, in indirect procurement, which type of projects they manage, if a global framework initiative, or is a global project, a local, and how this is translated into the system, the savings tracking system. And it's super cool, because then we can define roles and responsibilities based on what we can really manage on a daily basis. So this is, for me, was the result is super good, because this helps people really to understand their role, and then how to use the system in an appropriate way. If I have a global project, how I should enter the project. If a local project, how I enter the project in the system. Tools and technologies, I think everybody is talking about digital. When this process started, we had a digital, I would say, Frankenstein solution. Now we have a much proper, I would say, professional way of working. We have done this a year ago, but as I said, we're still learning and improving the system. So everything starts with the stakeholders taking care. Then we have the web-based tool where the information is inserted. And then all this ends up in the savings report. by function, by stage. Of course, we consolidate a lot of stuff in PowerPoint, but the information is basically there. Key takeaways: continues to remove fear barriers. People, they don't have the same level of IT or Windows or whatever system knowledge. We need to empower people. One decision we take was to stop using external support. People get used to that. So people really need to do the work, and not only the work, I mean, in delivering the savings, but they need to use the system and keep the system updated. So this was for us a key change. People need to use the system in their favor. Yeah. And again, digitalization must increase employees' people productivity. Yeah? Like I said in the previous system, we used to have a lot of issues and manual steps, and in the end of the day, this is not really helping. So we need to get from these systems more capacity. Yeah? We need to free up our capacity to do more. Value creation, this is the traditional. So for every cost improvement area, like I said, we manage a lot of stuff behind this quality transformation. So there is a lot of transformation, footprint network, restructuring, general administration. So people taking care of all these initiatives. In the end of the day, is all about this cycle, as you can see here. It's a kind of PDCA. Identify opportunities. So we need to have our pipeline because we have multi-year targets. So we need to see not only the savings of this year, but also what's coming ahead. Prioritize projects, of course. In the end of the day, forecast is super important to have the best forecast as possible for the same, so that we can manage the expectations, especially. Execute review, like I said, is all about executing, delivering. And the most important, I think, in the end, to consolidate is communication. Yesterday, for example, we had a training for more than 50 people across different affiliates about the process, about the tools. So we are always trying to engage with people and communicate the results. Of course, not everything we can share with our colleagues, but they need to understand why we are doing this. Yeah, and that is a why. I think yesterday was some presentations about why is important. In the end, this helps to increase accountability, supports agility, create and collaboration within the function, and sometimes, of course, across functions. So now, gear up to the end of the presentation. Unfortunately, of course, I cannot show the numbers, but this is completely on scale. So we have been working since 2017, as I said. Despite COVID, and because of this program, we have been able to offset many COVID cost ups. Of course, here we don't measure, for example, cost avoidance. We have our procurement team has done a great job, also not only generating savings but avoiding cost ups. Here, as I said, we monitor cost ups, but in a different report. And we are super close to the target. Or as a matter of fact, this is a bit wrong. We are 10% above target as the blue line. But this year we challenges. So this year we are still suffering a little bit from COVID. So let's see how we finish the transformation by the end of this year. What's important to say that all this program is always validated externally by consultant companies. So we need always to demonstrate that things are done, the saves are coming, and in the end, this goes to the final report of the company. As I said, run rate savings are ahead of schedule, despite the graph here is not showing that. So sorry about that. And that's the way we work. So the overall program continues to be tracked on a monthly basis by TechOps PMO. Also covering, like I said, other function areas like regulatory affairs and other functions not sit in TechOps. I think our learning here, nobody expected this COVID pandemic to come, but everything we started doing as a long-term perspective help us to deal with this situation. Of course, we have learned a lot and put a lot of new plans, new ideas, how to perhaps minimize such kind of issues in the future, to not only to generate savings, but also to ensure a supply of medicines. That is our key target here, to keep supplying medicines to our patients. But I think that message for me is super important. Yeah, when the sun is shining, is the time to repair the roof. Well, that's it. I'm glad to keep in contact with you here or on LinkedIn. So feel free to search me there. And that's it, Peter.
Thank you, Marcelo. I have one question. How do you measure the productivity? You mentioned that that all of the initiatives have to increase productivity. So how do you measure that?
Yeah, productivity can be translated into, for example, procurement. When you compare the price, the actual price from this year from last year, productivity can be productivity, for example, on the shop floor, improving OEE, improving yield, improving the process on the shop floor. So productivity here means everything that are generating savings or improving the process in order to save material or save time and thus generating savings.
One question from Mike Myers. Are your savings broken down by euros, not spent, or cost avoidance or FTE reduction?
Yeah, we have for every initiative, we need of course, a list of items from headcount reduction to direct to indirect to many type of savings. And then we split clearly what is P&L impact and the cost avoidance. So we don't mix up cost avoidance. And this was interesting, especially last year, that there was a budget, for example, for travels, for a lot of stuff that didn't happen. So how much of this is really saving? How much of this is cost avoidance? So our finance works super close to that to avoid putting numbers or bringing numbers from cost avoidance. Yeah, we separate both.
So due to COVID, are you going to change to more teleconference workplace or not? Or is this on agenda?
Yeah, definitely. I think in Germany, we had a lot of discussions about this work from home situation. And now the company has now moved into this direction. So now people are allowed, some rules have been put in place. People are now allowed to work from home. And also we are put a lot of course, it's about culture. People moving to more conference, to more audiovisual. There is a need to travel if I can solve a problem. My particular view here is that there will be always need for interaction. I'm 43 years old. I'm kind of young yet, but I like interaction, so I miss a little bit this. But I think the future will be a blend of work from home and work from office. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. One more question from Gareth. Are any non-direct cost factors measured, such as employee engagement increasing productivity or reducing staff turnover?
This is not directly in measure. We measure this in HR, attrition rate, for example. Within the transformation in procurement, there is one pillar that is processes, where, for example, one transformation for us, we are implement Ariba from SAP, and this is changing completely the way we put our order in the system to buy something. And this is not directly in our program, but this is managed by PMO within procurement, how to establish this new way of invoicing, inputting orders in the system, like I said. So yeah, but they monitor in different ways. Each project has their own way of working.
Okay, thank you. In how many languages do you have the tool implemented? Just my question. So
it's in English. It's in English. So this has been also a challenge situation, especially in some countries like Russia. but the system is in English. So our target is not to grant access to everybody, but we started, and we had some challenges here, but we started slow. It started, for example, category managers or people leading globally projects, and then cascade down to more and more people as it is necessary, and of course, if the profile fits to the need. But the system today, there is a possibility for translation, but it's basically in English. Yeah.
Do I understand it right that the system is for this transformation program only? So in 2022, you switch it off, or you just prolong the program?
No, this is people like, yeah. So that's why we have in our StratPlan, we have saves until 2025. The 2021 was a mark because of the taking over. So there was a clear target in 2021, but the saves will remain for good now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation, for your insight. And we are soon going to have a networking lunch. And community manager Sylvia will join me. Thank you, Marcelo. It was a very, very nice insight in your program.
Thank you.
And good luck with the program.
Thanks so much.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello. Thank you so much for the presentation, and thank you for the word, Peter. So welcome everybody to the networking break or networking lunch. So if you're hungry, grab something. If you can still hold a bit longer, then we've got 1.5 hours. So don't worry, you will have enough time to get some food in your stomach, to get energized for the next panels and next wealth of information that is coming after to get you. So what are we going to do during this networking break or networking lunch? We've got several options for us. So you can join sessions. Sessions are breakout rooms or round tables or however you want to call them. So there are 3 for now. 2 are specifically designed to address the topics of the PMOs and the strategy, the inside out of strategy, how to leverage it for the best operational excellence. And another breakout room is called post-session Q&A. This is a space where you can go and discuss with other delegates or maybe even speakers more questions that you got about the presentation that you didn't have a chance to ask. So this is a space dedicated for further discussion on the topics that were previously on stage. Next, we've got networking. Networking is like speed dating for professionals. You'll have 20 to 180 seconds to connect with somebody, introduce yourself, maybe share the biggest obstacle or the issue that you're having, and you can basically briefly describe where you're at. And if you feel like connecting further, you can do so either on LinkedIn or on our new community platform, PPM Workout. You can find out a bit more about this platform. Why do we call that workout, and what do we have to offer in the expo area? I'll be there in, let's say, in 2 minutes. I'll be there waiting for you to run a demonstration. If you want to find out more how it works, what you can find there, how you can interact with others, what you can learn. So I'll meet you there. But before I do so, I'd like to point out that we've got another booth in the expo area, and my colleague will give you all the information on the upcoming masterclasses with 2 of the speakers that you had the chance to see yesterday. Project Manager Champion Antonio Nieto Rodriguez with his masterclass Project Revolution, and Dr. Richard Bainey with his masterclass on decision analysis. So you can find out more, get nice discount in the Expo area. And for others, yeah, it's up to you to decide how you're going to use this 1.5 hour. And I'll be waiting for you in the booth of PPM workout. See you later. Thank you.